What is happening? Is this even suited up? I don't know. You're gonna have to check. We gotta ask the bosses. We gotta ask the bosses. Okay, yeah, they're confirming this is suited up. This is suited up. You are in the right place. You're in the right time. There's no music though, and things are a little bit different. Why are things different right now? It's because I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida right now because it's Thanksgiving. You know what I said? I'm thankful everyone for my health. And I'm so thankful for my health. Why don't I go to the most likely place for me to jeopardize it? And here I am. We're rolling dice and we're having a good time. So let's see what we can do with it, everybody. Welcome to Suited Up. This is your Wednesday talk show, late night. I won't even call it an extravaganza because it's more of just a ganza. Is there just a ganza? What's the extra part? What makes your extra Vanaganza? Is that a word? We'll figure it out. Tonight on the show, it's Jilly Baby will be showing up to give us the scoop on all the juicy gossip that she loves to cover. After that, we've got more Miserables because Les Miserables has a sequel, and it's with a handsome gentleman, and he's here tonight to talk about it. And our third guest tonight, she's your up-and-comer for this week. Her name is Danielle, and she is going to be your favorite person from Norway, Finland, Amsterdam, Denmark, that one. See, on this show, we do our research, and I was throwing you for a loop there. I threw you for a loop because I want to make sure that you knew the guests as well as I do, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have you all here. But before we get too far into that, I have another announcement. I talked to the guy who does the rundown. He and I have a really great relationship. We talk about it every week. Like, hey, man, what's up with that rundown this week? Who's going to get a top badge? And I go, you know what? He tells me. He doesn't know. Honestly, the guy who does the rundown, he's probably got the worst ability to pronounce names that I've heard ever. Whoever said, hey, this person who's borderline not literate when it comes to reading names should definitely announce every single person who wins a contest and gets their top badge. It just makes the most sense, right? So I was talking to that guy who runs the rundown on Fridays, and he said that they're not going to do the rundown this Friday. That this week there will not be any top badges, and for that reason there will not be a rundown. But he did give me the list of people who won this past weekend's contest, which would be the major thing that we would cover this week on the rundown if it were to happen. So because of that, I will be going over the list of the top placements for this past weekend's contest. So stay forward to that. You can also look forward to everyone to, on the show today, the interviews with It's Jilly Baby. She's a POF top badge. We have more Miserables, who is he's a great up-and-comer. And we have another great up-and-comer, Danielle, on the show today. Let's talk about the contest results from this past weekend's contest. This is Poloed Up with Chris, by the way, everyone. This is your Wednesday night announcement TV interview style show. Okay, leaderboards. Here we go. All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and go with ladies first. Your top 15 ladies. Now, it did pay out. It did pay out to the top 32. So maybe I should do top 10 for each. Top 10 for each. Should we do top 15 or top 10? I don't know how much time we have to burn. We good? You want to do top 15? We'll do top 10. Blake says top 10. So the top 5, top 10. All right, I'm going to close my eyes, and the first number that I see is the one I'm going to pick. Oh, top 50. Top 10 is the first one I see. Your top 10. Your top 10 announcement for this past weekend's, stay with me, Light, past weekend's ladies' side of the Stream with Friends contest. Coming in 10th place was Holly. Congratulations, Holly, for your 10th place finish. Coming in 9th place was Simply Gorgeous. In 8th place with the Stream with Friends contest on the ladies' side, we had Single Sassy. Single Sassy, congratulations on your placement. 7th place, Miss Royal Lee, 1416. That is the year that she's from. She has got the greatest classic styles. So if you ever want to know about good vintage wares, you just have to talk to Miss Royal Lee, 1416. Coming in 6th place is Thriving. She's thriving and growing and getting all big. Congratulations, Thriving, on the 6th placement. In 5th place is Smokin' Hero, featuring a shoe. If you look at his name, he's featuring a shoe. It's incredible. He had a shoe on, and it made all the difference. Your top 3 finishers for this past weekend's Stream with Friends contest on the ladies' side. Cora with her 3rd place finish. Miss Cora, congratulations on that. In 2nd place was Bud Lightning with 5.699 million diamonds. Cora, by the way, finished with 4,027,000 diamonds. And your 1st place finisher on the ladies' side for the Stream with Friends contest, this past contest weekend, was Bella Baby PP. Can I say that loud? Bella Baby PP, 7,144,000 diamonds. Congratulations, Bella Baby. Congratulations, Bella Baby. She took home that number 1. Over on the gentleman's side, going over the top 10, in 10th place was Candy Voice. He's got a sweet, sweet voice, everybody. It's magical, magical voice. 10th place, coming in 9th place was Scorpio One King. He's a Scorpio, but he's one king. In 8th place was Joe Bro. Congratulations, Joe Bro. In 7th place was Devil. Scary. Coming in 6th place, newcomer to the app, big hitter, Conceited. Congratulations, Conceited. You may have known him from Wild and Out. Coming in 5th place was Sean Boy. 4th place, Marty Party, familiar from these leaderboards. Your top 3 finishers, everyone, for the Stream with Friends contest. Your top 3, Adam Hartz with 6,011,000. In 2nd place was Valhalla, Mr. 187, with 6,689,000. And coming in 1st place, your 1st place finisher for the Stream with Friends contest on the male side was Babyface Mosley. Babyface Molasses, congratulations. You did an excellent job. Congratulations on that win. Congratulations to everyone who placed in this past weekend's contest. And if you missed out, don't worry, because the Gobble into December contest is happening, everyone. 60 people can take a cut of that action. 60 people can take a cut of that action. 1st place is going to get 1.4 million diamonds. 1.4 million diamonds, paying all the way down to 60th place, which is 40. By the way, Mr. Mosley and I have a love-hate relationship. We joke around. We know his name. It's a joke. I see some people in the comments don't know that we know each other. I know him, okay? I know him. I met him once, sort of. All right. Anyway, congratulations to all the places. If you're new to the app, if you're new to the streams, welcome. This is Suit Up. This is your weekly interview, late night style talk show. This week we're doing it from Florida because we feel like rolling the dice on our longevity of health and life. Really is just the best place to do it, right? Okay, no suits tonight. Our first guest tonight, everyone, she is a top badge. She's making a lot of great moves on the app. And I hear there's rumors that she's got a show in the works, and we might be talking about it. She's a heartthrob. She's an advice giver, but most of you know her because it's just Jilly. It's Jilly Baby. Go ahead and request that box, please. She's up first to the box. I want to say congratulations on your top badge, but that's not the right show. It's not the right show. Jilly Baby.
Hi.
Hi.
I made it.
You did. On time and everything. You're so punctual. Hey, Jilly.
Hi, how are you? Hi, everybody. I see my family in the place.
Yeah, I like the background just as much as ever. In fact, I think the week that you got your top badge, it was from my stream because we had a little hiccup. Was that true?
I thought I did. I don't think it was in your stream. I went to the rundown. So.
No, the rundown. Okay,
yeah,
well,
we
do our research on this show. So, speaking of doing research, you have quite the elaborate setup when it comes up to going live. Before we get too far into that, though, you are a POF user, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm on POF.
You're POF. Sorry, POF. That's what.
I know the lingo. I know you guys say POF all the time. So.
It sounds like a cereal. Like, what do you have for breakfast? Some POF, maybe? Okay. When you downloaded POF or Plenty of Fish, were you searching for love? Did you download it as a dating app?
Absolutely not. It was a COVID time, and a girlfriend of mine messaged me and said, you have to get on POF. They have this live feature. So I remember when POF first started,
Yeah.
many years ago. And I was like, absolutely not. That is like a death trap. There's nothing going on there. It's a hookup site. I'm not doing it. And she's like, no, you have to check this live feature out. And I just took it off on a whim. And I was like, so people just stare at you? Like you just sit there and they just look at you? And it just kind of morphed from there.
Yeah. It's funny how these things go through an evolution. We hear that a lot about Meet Me as well, or Scout. That that's a dating app. What do you mean about going live? And then it turns out you can make a lot of friends and have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you still sometimes get hit with the why are you on a dating app if you don't want to date?
Yes, it happens all the time, especially in the streams, but I understand it more so coming from POF because a lot of people that come on, it's new. They're like, what is this feature? I thought this is a dating site. Like, what is this live thing that's going on? And you kind of have to just redirect them. Like two things can be true. It can be here for dating or it can be here just to be here, you know, for interaction and social interaction.
Yeah, it's what you make of the experience, and it can be fun for anyone. Had you had an experience in performance or a background in entertainment?
No, maybe like when I was like in high school, I was in plays and things, but nothing like professional or anything. This is just me, Chris.
High school can count. High school's brutal.
Yeah. In high school, things like that.
Yeah. What was a role, or what was a role that you played in high school? Can you remember?
I don't even. They weren't even. So I went to a private Baptist school in Guam.
Whoa.
So it wasn't like it wasn't a well-known type of play. It was like really like it's just really local thing.
How'd you wind up in Guam?
I'm from Guam.
You're
so
from?
My mom side of the family is from Guam. Yeah, I'm actually from Guam. So I was born in Hawaii, where my dad's from. And I lived in Hawaii for a few years, and then I moved to Guam.
How long did you live in Guam?
8 years.
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was high school. That's the critical growing up phase. All of that. Mm-hmm. What's life like in Guam? Anything comparable to the States?
I mean, now it's a lot better. When I was growing up, it was just it's like a delay. So I used to watch TV, and TV would be recorded shows. So you'd get it like maybe a week or two late. So if I would go visit family in the States, I would watch a TV show.
Yeah. And
then when I would get back to Guam, I would see the same TV show on the TV, like the same episodes, the same everything. It wasn't like live TV.
Yeah. Did they pitch it live?
Now it's
like, this is totally live.
No, it's totally live. Yeah. They would just pass it off like that, but you would know. But it's I mean, we're much, it's a U.S. territory, so it's very much like here now.
Okay, that shows you how ignorant I am. Clearly a well-informed host. You come back to the States. Are you public about where you're at now? So Hawaii to Guam to...
So my journey was actually Hawaii to Guam to Arizona. I lived in Phoenix for 6 years. Then I lived in Austin, Texas for 8 years. And now I'm in Jersey. So I'm in New Jersey.
Jersey.
I'm like progressively, if you think about it, I'm like progressively getting further and further away than from my mother.
Yeah.
Like, keep moving further and further.
Poor mom. What did mom do? Maybe, or wait, that might be an entanglement. So I gotta be careful. That could be its
own. Not an entanglement.
It could be its own thing. Jersey though is nothing like the other places. I mean, Jersey's the Northeast. It's cold, rainy, and snowy, not warm and tropical.
I know. I've always wanted to live in New York or be in New York. So when I finally made it out here, I realized New York is very expensive.
Yeah.
So it's a lot cheaper for me to live across the water. So that's how I ended up in Jersey.
Yeah. What I guess what would you say has been the benefit, or why move out there? Why New York? Why is the goal that way?
It was just like a bucket list thing, I like the energy of the city. I like the activity. I like the pace of life out here. It's very opposite to life on an island. Mm-hmm. So there's always something going on. There's always something to do. And that matches my vibe. So I've always wanted to just kind of be around all of the activity and just kind of be here. Like it just goes. I'm very go, go, go. And when you're back in Guam and Hawaii, it's very slow, slow, slow.
Okay, slow. That's the complete opposite of what your streams are. And that's really where this conversation should head, is you are known for having some of the most controversial and hot topic streams around, period. And that's probably keynoted with something called entanglement. So what are the entanglements? What is entanglement?
So an entanglement is a compromising or complicated relationship or situationship. I think many people have had those if they really stop to think about it. So it really morphed from literally one conversation that I had with one of my friends on here, Fiba, and she was just explaining a complicated relationship she had. And it turned into like, it was getting so complicated while we were all trying to follow it. I said, okay, wait, I have to write this down. So then I brought this notepad out and put it down and just started writing, okay, who's the person? And then he was connected to this. And we just started drawing this like org chart map out. And then I flipped it around and said, okay, let me get this straight. And I recapped the entire story. And everybody just went crazy about it. We just started laughing and it became a thing. And then it just turned into like, oh, I have a story. Oh, I have a story. Yeah. And it just now morphed into people just volunteering this information. But it's fun, you know, it's kind of like, you know, there's the beautiful side of love. And then, you know, there's the not so beautiful side. The things happen, you know, they don't always work out the way you want them to. And, you know, it's a fun way to highlight that. And it's a fun way to me for people to kind of like look back at their experience and have a little fun with it. Yeah. You know, on one hand, you
gotta know that it's the throwdown when you come in there. Throwdown is that's his name. I'm sure. Right. It's one thing to hear the surface level explanation, but it's an entirely different experience to go through an entanglement. Would you happen to have by you an entanglement board?
I actually do. I have them all by me. I actually save all of them on my wall. And I'm happy to share my favorite one if you want to.
I think we should do that right now. In the chat, should we go over one of Jilly's favorite entanglement stories? Is this okay?
Do you see people in the comments saying, don't share mine, make sure it's not
I don't know. I think it's only right, though, if we're going to pitch this, which I hear could become a featured show. I don't know, maybe after hearing this, they'll have to reconsider it being appropriate content.
Okay, here's my favorite one, and I'll take you through it as quickly as possible.
Okay.
All right, there's a gentleman named Unheard who was with Ashley, and they have 2 children together. Okay. So Ashley ends up cheating on Unheard with a drug dealer. So baby number 2 was in question, but they found out that that was actually Unheard's child. He finds out that
baby and she cheated and got pregnant.
Well, she cheated around the time that she was pregnant. So they were, you know, you kind of play that back and kind of ask, you know, is baby number 2 really mine? But it is. So when Unheard finds out she cheats, he leaves immediately and he goes to a hotel, gets a hotel room for the night because he doesn't want to be around her. He goes out for drinks that night and he meets a young lady named Tarnika. Tarnika, at this time, Unheard is 22 years old. Tarnika is 37. So there's a 15-year age difference. They have drinks that night. They have a great time. Nothing happens after that. They don't have any sex. They just had a good night and they part ways. They keep in touch. And within 2 weeks, he moves in with her. So
like you do. It's just the obvious next move.
He moves in with her after 2 weeks.
Just like you do. Yeah.
2 weeks. So for the first 30 days, they're living together as roommates, and he is still sleeping with Ashley, his baby mama.
While he's living with this woman?
Correct. While living with Tarnika. So nothing. 30 days in, he realizes, you know what? Let me give Tarnika a chance. He cuts off his baby mama and says, we're a couple. So for
he just declares, I pronounce us couple. And
we're together. We're going to be together.
Right, like you do. Just ladies in the comments, is that how that works? Did you just kind of go, hey, we're a thing now?
Right. So for the first year, they have a great time. They're traveling. They're just, you know, the honeymoon phase. They're couples. They're happy. But a year in, he gets bored. So he starts to stray a little. You're going to laugh at this. Do you want to know where he strayed to? To Tagged.
What?
He went.
Don't dirty up Tagged.
I'm not dirtying it up. I'm just saying he went to Tagged. He created a Tagged account.
To Blenbo or something. Whatever some other app is. He went over to that one.
He went there and he met Christy. He met a young lady named Christy in her 30s, and they started communicating. 30 days after they first met, they decided to finally meet in person. So they meet up, they have dinner, they have drinks, they have a great time. They get too drunk and they can't drive. So Chrissy calls her sister to pick them up. The sister picks her up, picks them both up, and they drop on her back at Tarnika's place. All Chrissy thinks is he has a roommate. That's it. So she knows nothing about Tarnika.
The one that he pronounced is his girlfriend.
Correct. He just says I have a roommate. So drops home for 4 months. He sees both of them. He sees Chrissy on the weekends, Tarnika during the week.
He's courteous. He balances his time.
Correct.
He's mindful and knows that everyone has to have some time allocated.
Correct.
Okay, I understand.
So his birthday comes up, right? And Tarnika says, I want to take you out to meet my parents and to this comedy show. He tells her, I actually want to spend my birthday with my family. She says, that's not flying. And he ends up going to the comedy show. So he goes to the comedy show, meets mom and dad. When the night is over, shakes mom and dad's hand, kisses mom on the cheek, kisses Tarnika goodbye and says, all right, I'm going to spend the rest of the evening with my family. And he leaves them. What he actually does is he goes to the Hyatt Hotel where he secured a room 2 weeks prior and meets up with Chrissy. So he spends the evening with Chrissy.
He's got good planning and foresight. That's what I'm getting. He's a planner.
But here what happened. At 3 o'clock in the morning, the phone in the hotel room rings. Chrissy picks up the phone and gives it to him and said, someone's on the phone. It's Tarnika on the other line of the phone. To this day, he said he does not know how she got the phone to the hotel room that he was staying in. But he hangs up the phone immediately. He panics. He super panics. Hangs up the phone.
Yeah.
So he's trying to figure out what to do. Calls his best friend. His best friend tells him, you're SOL. You got yourself into this mess. Figure it out. Hangs up on him. So he calls Tarnika back. And all she says is, who is she? Is it somebody new or is this your baby mama? He said, it's somebody new. She told him to come home and she said, you know what I'm saying? Come get your thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So 2 pages. This is a 2-pager, Chris.
This is a 2-pager. If you're tuning in, everyone, we are talking to It's Jilly Baby. She runs a good old program called Entanglements, where people give good, warm-hearted, feel-good stories. We're getting a brief rundown of some of her content. If you have not, please make sure you favorite her. Jilly Baby, let us know. What happens with Tarnika and gang?
So she tells him to come get your stuff. So he parts with Chrissy, tells Chrissy, I had a great time. I'll talk to you later. The next day, he goes back to the house. Tarnika is standing outside. She's standing outside and she wants an explanation. He says, I'm not doing this with you, and he just leaves. So the next morning he calls her up and he says, you really want an explanation? She says, absolutely. He says, meet me at the library at this time.
The library?
Yes, meet me at the library. In his mind,
I'm sure they spent a lot of time there.
In his mind, I want to meet in a public place just in case she decides to, freak out on me. So the real plan, however, was while she's going to the library, I'm going to go to the house, get all my things. By the time she figures it out and comes home, I'll be gone and it's a wrap. So she's going, he heads to the house, goes to put his key in the lock, and guess what she'd already done?
Change the locks.
She changed the locks. He got there and the locks were already changed. So he is like, his phone is blowing up. She's like, where are you? You would think he would panic, but he didn't. He picks up his phone and he calls the cops. He calls the cops and tells them, this woman is keeping my stuff and she won't let me get my things. Please come. So he hides and waits for the cops to come. She comes home by now, and so she's in. When the cops come, they knock on her door and they say, ma'am, somebody's here, says they need your stuff. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they say, ma'am, what's burning? There's something, smells like something's burning. And she says, I'm cooking. And they go, no, ma'am, something is burning. So people think maybe she's burning his clothes. No, she burned his paperwork. She burned his social security card. She burned all his bank statements. She burned his birth certificate. She burned his existence. She didn't touch the clothes. She burned all the paperwork.
She said, I'm going to erase you.
Yes, she just, it's exactly what she did. She burned all of those things. So the cops get her to let him get the rest of his stuff. So he gets his clothes and all his things, no paperwork, and he is literally homeless now. So he is out in the streets, No nothing, right? No paperwork, no nothing. Everything's burnt up, just his clothes. Guess where he goes?
Tarnika?
To Chrissy.
Who's
No, because
Chrissy?
Tarnika just kicked him out. Chrissy, who we met on Tag.
Oh, Chrissy's the one from Tag. Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's where he goes back to. So he ends up going back to Chrissy. Chrissy's father is actually in the church. He's a bishop in the church, and Chrissy and her mom end up convincing him to let Unheard move in with them. So he actually moves in with them, lives with them for a year. He ends up proposing and marrying Chrissy. And then they're married for a couple of years, but they got divorced about 2 years ago.
I'm sure it was a loving marriage. Yeah.
He's a very changed man now.
Did he tell this story?
He told this story himself, yeah.
He admitted to these things?
All stories, yeah. All stories are told by the people that they happen to.
Wow.
All to be single.
Okay. And so at the end of it, did he go, so I'm single, ladies, if you want to come?
Actually, no.
Is that like the moral of the story?
What makes his story so good to me is that even at the end of it, the message he left everyone with is, like, it was very much I learned my lesson, and guys, when you're young you make dumb mistakes, but you don't understand like the ramifications later on down the road. What he did say was about 6 months ago, he actually reached back out to Tarnika to talk to her, and he apologized to her. Like, so his story
was available.
Much more right.
It's like, so that said, is that couch still open? Because I need a spot.
But for him it was a little more full circle story. But it's stories like that, like these are things that I could never imagine, and they seem to progressively every week get more and more interesting.
Yeah. If people want to be part of Entanglements, what day can they come to watch these stories unfold in real time?
Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jilly baby, do you have an entanglement of your own?
I do not have one that I can think of at the moment.
Wow, pure. Is that what it is? It's just pure? There's no entanglements?
No entanglements.
No. Okay. Well, you said that you weren't interested in the dating app aspects of things. So who knows? Who knows what's actually cooked up over there? But you are a top badge now.
I am.
Your friend that introduced you to the app, are they a top streamer? Are they still streaming?
No, they're not streaming at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they infected you and dipped. They're like, here you go. Bye.
Right. She did, and then they're gone. So some of the people that I started with, there's some that are still on here. And then there's some that have actually recently popped back up, and they just come back and they're like, whoa, oh my God, you have your top badge, that we started out just for fun,
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's going on as far as your life and excitement and personal things that you're looking forward to? Is there anything that you're planning or anything that you're looking forward to?
No, I don't have it. It's really been difficult, I guess, during like COVID times for myself too. So towards this time of year, it gets a little more, you get a little more nostalgic, right? My family's all kind of apart. So it's kind of maybe around like Christmas time, trying to get together with some friends from that aspect. But in my regular life, I have a new office that I've built with my job. So that's kind of like also taking some time off over there, but nothing really big right now.
That's
Friendsgiving, I am looking forward to Friendsgiving in 30 minutes. A bunch of us are having a Zoom Friendsgiving, yes.
30 minutes and socially distanced. Wow. And you're going to stream this to all of your friends. That's incredible. That's so cool that you're committing to this entire show and showing your friends it. That's wholesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's really a winner thing to do, honestly. Jilly baby, when do you go live besides for entanglements? If people want to hang out with you, when can they catch you?
I usually stream Monday through Friday, between like 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. I'm much more of a morning streamer. But since I've been off, I've kind of been on there. But you usually catch me during the day, during the week, not really on the weekends. But I welcome everybody to come in. I very much, it's the butterfly effect. The butterfly is really like my thing. So, it's the idea that something small can make a big impact. So I'm really, really big on time is something you can give and you can't give back. So whether it's, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 2 hours that we spend together, I want it to be a positive thing, and I want you to leave feeling better than when you got here. You know what I mean?
That's a wonderful idea. One one trip to the library can result in your birth certificate burning. So it's crazy. One little flap of the wingies. Just Chili Baby, I enjoyed this conversation so much. I know that we had this in the making for a while, and it feels great when someone says, "When can we do it?" Like, so.
I'm glad it finally happened. I really appreciate the platform and the opportunity to see more people.
Yeah, well, I mean, you deserve it. You're an excellent streamer. Make sure that you favorited Chili Baby. It's Chili Baby. You got Entanglements every Tuesday, everyone. Go and check it out and find the spectacle of the people circus that she has going on. Thank you so much, Chili Baby.
Thank you. And if you have an entanglement, let me know.
Air it out. Let it out. Make you feel better. Thank you, Chili. It's love. This is the part where I cue the music. Welcome to Suited Up with Chris. Now, do we have Joselito in the stream? Because yes, there he is. There he is. Okay, so everyone, we have an interjection before our next guest. Our next guest is just a brief shout out. We've got new talent constantly coming to the app. Sometimes we catch them before we do a full interview. Now, this next quick shout out is from a guy who I can't make that type of joke on here. Now, Joselito, please be appropriate. Joselito, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for jumping on. Let's do this. What?
Hey.
Joselito, what happened to you?
What's poppin', man? I'm here.
You're here, Joselito. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Joselito, I invited you on today because I'll be honest, I struggle in the love department. And based off of your Instagram, it looks like you do fairly well with the ladies.
Oh, yeah. I do good with the booties. That's how I like to call them.
Is that a bad word? I don't know what that word means.
No, that's actually a young, respectable woman.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not joking here. I really don't know. I need my encyclopedia. Okay, Joselito. So you do pretty well. I wanted to bring you on the show, though, so that you could have a little bit of a shout out, say hello to everyone in the community. You are one of the more famous puppets that exists on Instagram.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So for y'all that don't know, my name is Joselito, aka King Bichotazo. And you know, I'm abuela's favorite nieto and your puti's favorite bicho. I'm a puppet celebrity. You might have seen me on the Wendy Williams show. You might have seen me working with Hot 97 out of New York City. Might have seen me on Instagram. I got 200,000 followers on Instagram. I'm over 400,000 followers on Facebook.
Are you?
And or you might have seen me on YouTube.
Oh, I thought you were like a dating consultant. You mean I have a real celebrity on here?
Oh, yeah,
so
puppet
cool.
celebrity. I do stand-up comedy too. You might have seen me on tour. I go city to city too doing stand-up. But puppet celebrity, man.
Okay. Now, is the word puppet, is that offensive to you? Is there a different word I should be using?
No, puppet's okay. You know,
okay.
just don't call me a Muppet. Then we'll have beef.
Muppet. Oh.
Yeah, I don't like Muppet.
I can't be saying those types of words out here. I don't get caught wrong, saying the wrong types of things, you know. So, Joselito, you rattled off a lot of accolades. Some I'm sure may have gotten me banned potentially. So we're just gonna. I'm not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think we should do a full interview with Joselito in the future, please let us know in the comments. DM me on Instagram. Let me know at Chris Casper. Joselito, if people want to find you and keep up, are you going to start streaming here? What's the deal?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to start streaming now. So I just need somebody to show me the ropes. So if any booties out there want to show me what's going, because it looks like y'all talking emojis on this app. I don't see nothing but emojis, but I'm gonna figure it out.
We have I like poutine, which is a food. So I'm just gonna imagine that that's what you're saying. And my dad speaks Spanish, and he's probably yelling at the screen somewhere, going, "I should have told him." And it's good to see you, Joselito. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, and loved giving you a shout out. If you have not, please give him a favorite.
Yeah,
He's gonna be live streaming. You can catch him. Have some fun with him.
Yeah, follow me, send me dragons, all that good stuff. Whatever's good on here. I don't know.
The dragon's okay. What you really want is the love bears.
Give me the love bears,
Give them
Putin.
the love bears, everybody.
Give me the love bears.
Joselito, everyone. Thank you so much, bro, for coming out.
Appreciate you, man.
Cheers. Cheers. That's Joselito, everybody. Oh, hang on. I gotta help him out. I gotta help. He's got his thumbs. He got a thumb thing going on, right? He's got a thumb thing on. That's Joselito, everybody. That's Joselito. I met him earlier thanks to my buddy Rod. My buddy Rod hooked us up, gave us a great connection. Found out he'd done a lot of great things on television. And so did I hook up? Well, the funny thing is when you engage with a puppet, you do have to put your hands. Now he didn't let me do that. He didn't let me do that. He was like, whoa. This is way too fresh of a relationship, okay? So anyway, now our next guest tonight, he is the most of the miserables. You could say he's more miserable than most people, but you wouldn't know it by meeting him because he's smile. It's just so big, and he's got this dog, and we're gonna talk all about it. More miserables. If you could please request the box. We got a show to do, and if you're just joining, everyone, thanks for tuning into Suited Up. My name's Chris Casper. This is your weekly interview-style show where I pretend that I know how to pronounce names, and I do my best to walk through a conversation. But for this next conversation, he's on deck, everyone. Our second guest of the night, more Ms. Rebels. More Ms. Rebels.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm great. I think you're doing really well, yeah?
I'm sorry. I've always wanted an entrance like music, so this is the closest I'll ever get to actually having one. So.
Well, I for once am not suited up, and the other person is. So I like it. It's a little role reversal right now.
Yeah,
I love it. More Miserables. This is another conversation that's been in the making for a long time. I'm excited for you to be here, man. Thank you for coming by. All right, so let's get things out of the way just to begin with. The name. Where does the name come from?
bro. Okay, so I had this name. I started a POF account 7 or 8 years ago, before Live even started. And I'm a big fan of Les Mis, the movie. And I don't know, honestly, there's not a big, really long explanation. I thought it was clever. I thought it was funny. And so it was my username when I was a POF, when I had a POF account, and then I just kept it. So
yeah,
nothing exciting here, but
I think it's creative. I think it's fun, and people dig musicals, so it's a great conversation starter.
I know, and everyone like that. Why are you so miserable? Why is this sad? Actually, it's not. It's completely opposite. I'm one of those happiest people you ever meet. So
You are. You look healthy, and you have a great smile and
I
energy.
did take my multivitamin today, so I'm feeling great.
The Flintstones. Is it the Flintstones?
Yes, the Flintstones one.
That's okay. When I was a kid, I think I was 4 years old, maybe 5 years old. I broke into my great grandma's extra bedroom and I ate all of her Tums. Do you know what Tums are?
Yeah.
Yeah. They thought I might have to get my stomach pumped. Spoiler alert, I didn't. I don't really remember what happened except I got away with it. So that's pretty cool. Who's our guest? Who's our guest that we have?
I'm sorry. She insists on being part of the show anytime I'm here.
Okay.
This is so popular. Most people just join the stream just to meet her, to be completely honest with you. People will literally come in my stream and be like, where's the dog? I'm like, hey, I'm also here, by the way. You can at least say hello first.
Eyes are up here. What's your dog's name?
Her name is Sobaka. It's the Ukrainian and Russian word for dog.
So your dog's name is Dog.
Which is it's cool when you tell people here in America, that's like, oh, that's such a cool name. But I used to live in Ukraine, so when I told my Ukrainian friends, I named my dog Dog, they're like, this is a stupid name. Why would you name your dog Dog?
You can't forget it. It's like, where's your dog? And so this is Dog, so it makes sense. You lived in Ukraine. How long did you live in Ukraine for?
I lived in Ukraine for about 2.5 years. I was a Peace Corps volunteer. Okay, I'm gonna need to put you down. I was a Peace Corps volunteer, and I worked with at-risk and underprivileged children in Ukraine for 2 years. setting up youth shelters, working in orphanages, helping get kids off of drugs, fighting sex trafficking. So lots of different stuff over there.
Wow. Whoa. You know, just a tiny little info bomb really quick. How does someone get involved in such noble activities? Do you wake up one day and go, I want to make a difference? Was there something that inspired you to lead such an inspiring and thoughtful lifestyle?
Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of it comes from my faith. But you know, when I felt called to do this a long time ago, of course, this was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago when I did this. I wanted to do so. I feel like a lot of faith-based missionary work and outreach organizations, they do a lot of good work, but a lot of it is about like proselytizing and trying to convert people. And I'm not trying to say that it's necessarily a bad thing. As a Christian, obviously, that's part of our cause, but I wanted to do something that was completely focused on the work, that was not, didn't have any ulterior motives, that was just about helping people and serving them. And so that's what I felt called to do, and ended up equipping me to do what I do now, which is I work with in sex crimes and law enforcement. So it kind of set me up to work with victims and offenders of juvenile sex crimes. So
Let's break this.
Talk about that on Meet Me. So I'm not.
We can with tact, right? It can be an educational conversation versus.
Who overrides who? Like, are you overriding Modbot, or is Modbot over you? I'm kind of.
I am at Modbot's mercy.
Oh wow!
I go stop Modbot, and I come back.
So, in theory, are you? Is it capable that Chris, you could be banned? Like, is that even possible?
I mean, I don't want to give away too many things. Right.
Okay. Moving on. So
I can tell you that
I asked Holly that once. I was like, Holly, you're like, are you even possible to get banned? I mean,
I can say that I don't know if that she ever would be.
We'll move on. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. You're good. I am interested though. About the Peace Corps work that you did. So many of the things that you listed off are inspiring. Was there a particular instance while you were working in Ukraine that you've held on to, or a story, a person, a situation that you said, wow, that just changed my life, or this has changed?
Oh, there was a point when I was just about halfway done with my service where I was having trouble kind of connecting with the locals over there, because the first part of your service, I mean, honestly, you're not just gonna like go to a foreign country and then start changing the world. Like, you have to network with the community. You have to invest in the community. They have to see that, you know, that you care, that you're not, you know, because there's a lot of distrust in a lot of these foreign countries of Americans, you know, like, who is this American to come and say that he's gonna, you know, save us? So there was a part where I was getting like really discouraged because I felt like I was not making the headway I needed to make with some of the local partners and organizations. And I was running this summer camp, and I was thinking about quitting. I was like, you know, I already have put a decent amount of time in here. I could just cut my losses and, you know, go start a career back home. And this little kid just came up to me and he hugged me and he said, thank you. Nobody has ever like really kind of paid attention to our village. No one's, you know, a lot of the big rescue organizations that, you know, they tend to invest in the bigger populated cities because they can reach more people. But I was in a smaller community, and so this kid, you know, in Russian language came up to me. I could just barely understand. And he says, "Thank you. No one's ever really cared about our community before. No one's ever done this." So, and he came up and hugged me, and I didn't even know who this kid was. I was like, "Yeah, I can't go."
What were these living conditions like?
So when I first started, I didn't have running water. I did have electricity, but I had to use an outhouse. And I don't know if y'all have ever been to Ukraine, but like it gets to be like 20 degrees below zero. So trying to use an outhouse and do your business when it's 20 degrees below zero, it ain't fun. So, but honestly, you get used to it. Like, you know, you get these big pots of water and you heat them up on the stove, and you have like, you know, baths and, you know, with this heated stove water. But, you know, it's prepared me for whenever we have power outages, because I don't seem to bother it as much.
Yes, and I ultimately, what was the takeaway from that? I can only imagine that you're appreciative of the things that happen here. I'm sure the inconveniences now seem minimal. Where you're at now.
I think the takeaway is just like, you know, I ran a lot of different projects when I was over there. We set up youth centers. I personally started a volunteer match program with some of the local orphanages to get like college kids to volunteer there in their free time. But you know, out of all the programs I did, what I learned most was just if you're genuine and you actually, you know, care about the people that you're serving, that goes so much further than any kind of program that you're doing, any kind of technical assistance you provide. People can see your heart. And you know, I was only legally required to work 40 hours in my volunteer, but I was there 24/7. I was there playing soccer with the local kids, you know, spending time with host families and you know, neighbors, and you know, sharing my story with them, asking them how I could, you know, doing risk and needs assessment. So people can see that, and so people can always see your heart. So I think that was the thing I took most away from.
Yeah, that is true, and I believe that's why you've had success quickly here. Is you are transparent and you are genuine and forthcoming with how you present yourself and talk about the things that you've done in your life. So I congratulate you on that, because many people find difficulty in finding their streamer voice. I call it the streamer voice, right? Who is it that you are able to be on live? And it seems that you're able to be yourself, which is fantastic. You come back to the States. How long ago has it been since you returned?
I came back in 2012, so damn, you make me feel old now, Chris. 8 years ago. 8 years ago.
And in the past 8 years, what have you gone through, or are there any highlights that you can recap for us?
You know, it took me a while to kind of figure out what my next move was. You know, I did not, you know, I told you I work in law enforcement with sex crimes. I don't think 15, 20 years ago, if you would have asked me in high school, hey, what do you want to do when you're an adult? I wouldn't have said, hey, I want to work in sex crimes, you know?
Right.
But that's just kind of the path that was laid before me and where I found my calling. And, you know, I work with juvenile offenders, so I don't work with adult offenders. I think that would be a little bit more challenging. But I think that in order to work with the population where I work, you have to be able to see people the way God sees them. If you look at them as monsters, if you look at these as, if you can't see past the offense or can't see past the offense that's happened to them, you're not going to be able to truly be an effective, you know, servant to their needs, regardless of whether they're a victim or offender. You have to be able to put aside any kind of predispositions you have or opinions you have, and that's always been very natural for me to just be very non-judgmental and accepting of people. So that's just where I found my calling, and I've been doing it for about 7 years now. And you know, I'm in grad school now, and I'm trying to move it to more leadership positions. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
That was my next question: is what educational background do you have that has supported you in this? Because I can't imagine that you went straight into high school and had the qualifications or ability to do something like that.
Right. I majored in political science and psychology, and now I'm in grad school for public administration. But I also, when I was in college, I became a supervisor, and I first started volunteering, and then I was working, and then I became a supervisor at a residential treatment center for kids with severely psychotic behaviors. So I had kids that, you know, schizophrenia or basically anything you can imagine mental health wise. So that's kind of what started me working with at-risk youth, and it just kind of took on a life of its own from there.
Mm-hmm. What's the vision for you? Because you're starting down some intense paths, some paths that can lead into many directions. Are you casting a vision? Is there an ultimate goal that you would like to reach with this type of work?
I mean, you know, who knows? You know, I've always, every time I seem to set a plan for myself, God or whatever, universe, whatever you want to call it, seems to just laugh at those plans. So, I mean, I would like to, I'm moving into more administrative and leadership roles. I'd like to be head of the department for where I work. But, well, who knows, Chris? I might become a full-time streamer.
Maybe. Something tells me that the fulfillment you get from the people you work with has some significant meaning to you. How would you say that itch has been scratched or addressed with what you do currently? With live. I'm sorry, with live.
With live. Well, you know, it's funny. I when I first started the app streaming, I was just doing, I think like a lot of people who started this during the Corona time, just because I wanted to kill time and I was bored and I wanted to meet new people. But I found the more I streamed and the more I connected with people, there's just a real need for people to just basically accept them. And it doesn't matter what they're going through. It doesn't matter where they're at in life. There's a lot of, the sit and chill streamers. There's a lot of the people who just sit in there and talk. We like to think in our stream that we provide something that's just a little bit different. That no matter who you are, what you're going through, everybody's accepted, everybody's loved. It doesn't matter if you're a bouncer, if you're the first time to stream, if you're never coming back, you gift, you don't gift. And I found that the more I did that, it gave me fulfillment, and people just really seem to connect with that. It's unconditional acceptance, no matter who you are. Because there's a lot of people who come into these streams, that they're struggling too. They've got mental health issues. They're struggling with depression, anxiety. They just want someone to connect to. They want someone to talk to. And that's basically, I find fulfillment in that. And I've just been overwhelmed with the amount of people who seem to connect with that,
Yeah. You're doing an excellent job of it. When do you go live? If people would like to get to know you more, see where this path is headed for you, or
absolutely, yeah.
Be there to be listening here.
I go live every night, sometimes. Pretty much every night. I'm in grad school full time on top of my job, so there are some nights where I'm like have send out a blast that say, hey, I just can't do it tonight. But we try to go live every evening, even if it's just for a couple hours.
Well, I love it. Is there anything that you would like to plug or talk about before we wrap up our conversation today?
I would say there's a lot of this good vibes kind of talk going around Meet Me in POF. The good vibes, positive vibes. And I really think that if there's anybody out there listening who is a streamer or is a viewer, I really think it's important that if we're gonna say that we need to stay true to that. That if we're gonna have good vibes, the good positive vibes, we need to have good positive vibes for everybody. And the true measure of whether you're living that is how you treat people in your stream who can do nothing for you. People who are not your top gifters, people who maybe are a little socially awkward. I think we've all had those people who come in our lives, and it's so easy to just ignore them because they're they're a little awkward. We don't know how to handle it. But everybody, I feel like if we're gonna do that, everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves attention. Everyone deserves to be heard. People are coming into these streams for a reason, even if it's just because they're bored. But they're coming into your streams for a reason. And if you're gonna rep positive vibes, we got to be true to those positive vibes, guys.
How would you challenge a person to do that?
I think I don't want to do that because I feel like that's going down the road of calling people out.
No, speak freely. This is a teachable moment.
I feel a lot of people say positive vibes, but when I go into their streams, they're only talking to their gifters. They're only talking to their bouncers. Like I said, if people are a little bit different, if they're a little bit weird, they tend to either disregard them or ignore them or whatever. And if you have trolls, I have a kind of a reputation in my stream as the troll turner. As a matter of fact, yesterday, every Tuesday in our stream, we do what's called Battle Tuesday. It's the only day that I do battles because I hate doing battles. So I've designated Tuesday, and I've had 2 trolls basically that I turned because we just basically killed them with kindness. There was this one guy calling me all kinds of names, but I just kept saying, well, man, I'm sorry that you're having a rough day. You do the same thing. I've seen you do it. Chris, you're really, really good at that. Is you take that negativity and you just ignore it and you just put that positive back out there.
Don't make this about me. Keep talking.
No, I don't know. I was talking about that guy the other day that was smoking in his bedroom, and he was like, everything seemed to be good, and he started calling you names at the end. I was like, what's going on?
I remember, yeah. What you're talking about, I really do position as a challenge, or I think can be positioned as a challenge because it requires some introspection and to understand that a person, when they're making a comment or when they enter a stream, if they don't have a user picture or they have a name that's different, there might be a reason behind it. Maybe they're uncertain of what a live stream is,
Right.
or what people have access to, and they're just trying to chart the waters. You have an opportunity to be someone's first impression every moment that you're live. Don't squander that, because if you do, you may be turning them away from an outlet or a community that can embrace them and make them happy or do great things for them. So you and I get on the same podium, but this is for you, right? This is your time, not mine.
No, I appreciate it.
I agree with you.
I mean, we all want to promote our streams. We all want to, the clout chase is real, but that does not mean that you can't love every single person along the way. Every single person.
I agree. Well, thank you so much. You have 1,000 million billion things more that you could talk about, and I hope and know that all of you have given More Miserables a favorite. But if you have not, please do right now. Click there. Click the little star. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, and there's one more important thing I need to say. If you never hear me say anything else, please hear me when I say this.
That was good. More Miserables, everybody. Good job, man. Good job. What a great interview. Our first guest was It's Chile Baby. We just got done talking It's More Miserables. We had a brief intermission with a guest, but now we have a third guest, and she's requesting the box right now. Right, yeah. This Miss Danielle. She's requesting the box. I met her, and I thought she was from the UK. She swiftly corrected that. Ladies and gentlemen, our third and final guest of the evening, Miss Danielle.
Hello.
Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. From the UK, really?
Yeah, I mean, just say the quick fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Mm-hmm. Then Finland? Ouch.
No, well, I was going to have people guess where you might be from.
I'm
But
not even from Finland, so good luck.
where are you actually from?
Oh, Chris, you forgot. I'm from Denmark,
You're from Denmark.
if you know where that is.
I don't, because I'm not very well educated. I went to public school. It was a whole mess. So you're from Denmark.
Yes.
I guess if you had to classify the type of accent that you have, how would you classify it?
Oof, that's a hard one because I don't have a Danish accent. It does lean towards a British one.
Okay.
I'm like a good mix. That is why a lot of people do be confused when they meet me.
Mm-hmm. You have this structure to when you speak. There's this pause, and I always think you're about to drop this big truth bomb on me. And so I'm going to stay conscious of it as you speak. I'm always anticipating this big truth bomb as you speak. But Danish, and welcome to the show. What time is it for you right now, by the way?
That's a terrible question. It's 4 a.m.
It's 4 a.m.? You made time for this? You're ridiculous.
Oh, I know I am. I'm a night person.
Night person. Speaking of, have you met many other Danish streamers, or how did you find this platform?
On this entire platform for the while I've been here, I met two other Danish people. That's it.
Two. How did you possibly find out about the platform?
I was actually scrolling Instagram, and I'm the type of geek. It was Corona. We all followed TikTok. I followed a TikToker, and he was like, "I'm going here. I'm gonna go here to stream." And I was like, "Sure, let's look at this."
Wow. So someone from another platform said they were going to come and stream over here. I need to be in contact with that person so I can get a gold star. That seems like the right move.
Well, sadly, the person left there back then. Wasn't for him.
Oh wow. Well, you're here now, which works. So, and when you downloaded it, I guess, what were your expectations? Had you been a streamer? Had you been an entertainer of any sort before?
No, actually never. When I downloaded the app, I didn't even know about streaming. I saw the chat thing, thought it was very weird. That's like, we all receive some weird DMs sometimes.
Sometimes.
Then I stumbled across the streaming thing. I personally did not stream for like several months until like a very good friend of mine, she like forced me almost to.
Does this person have a name?
She does. Her name is Nikki, which is why she's also on mine.
Nikki forced you into streaming. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we know who Nikki is. Okay. What gravitated you, or I guess what pulled you into her stream? What developed? Was it a friendship? Was it that she bullied you? What gave you the confidence to hit that go live button?
I don't know, like when I met Nikki, it was like complete random. I was in a different stream, she came in, we bonded over something random, and I came into hers. And she's like an amazing person, but after a couple months of forcing me to jump in a box, forcing me to actually show my face, to show I'm not a catfish.
Were you an eyebrow streamer?
No, I've never only streamed my eyebrow actually.
No?
First time I streamed full face all the time. I've had one ceiling stream because it was at 5 a.m. and I was very much on a sugar rush, like very.
Okay. Okay, so you got pushed into streaming thanks to Nikki,
Yes.
and you didn't look back. You stayed with it.
Yes, like I was very smitten by it. And that's my cat being fucking noisy. Sorry
You're
about that.
smitten. I like that adjective. You were smitten by live
But
stream.
yeah, I met these amazing people because I stayed in the comments for a long time. I met all these people who were like, who is she? Is she actually real? Is she not? So I already had the favorites built up. So my first stream, I had all my best friends. They stuck with me for like 8 hours.
They handheld you. They were like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it together. We're gonna go live. And you ripped the Band-Aid off, and here you are now. How long has it been since that first go live trip?
First go live, it was on the 29th of June, so some months actually.
Okay, I mean 29th of June. So you've been doing this for a hot second. Have you noticed any cultural differences between us and a lot? Can we get the rundown?
Like cultural, like my culture is very much different from any culture you don't. Yes, you don't eat pizza rolls, no, I don't. Like Danish culture is very much different from any other culture. Like I would compare it to Swedish or Norwegian, and I've not met any Swedish streamer at all.
Okay.
So like, of course it's a culture shock, but I love cultures. Like seriously, I love traveling. So I find it amazing, like meeting Americans. I already knew a little bit about your culture.
Mm-hmm.
And like the UK, and then all the Arabic people I also met, the Middle East and such. And I find it like so interesting, and they don't even fucking, oh sorry, excuse my language. They don't think
Did
of
you
it.
swear? I didn't even hear you swear. Did you? You said, excuse my language. Did you say all of that cotton-headed ninny muggins or something? Like I didn't hear you swear.
In a polite tone, yes.
In
I
a
don't swear
polite
often,
tone, okay.
surprisingly.
All right. So go on. So you did notice some cultural differences. Can you call some things that you've gone, oh really, or anything that surprised you?
Anything that surprised me, like how open some cultures are. Like some people are very open and inviting, while others you like have to know someone to get into the group.
Okay.
Like Americans are very, very open. Like the majority of Americans I meet. Well, if you go more into the European part, you kind of have to be European to be like, oh my god, this is a European, we're matching.
Okay.
Like it doesn't matter if you're Danish or from Albania, we're still European, we match.
Sure. Okay. So Americans, you got to do some work to be Miss Danny or Danielle's friend. So we got to put in that.
Not at all. I have a fascination of you guys. Your
You said-
accent is intriguing.
You
Oh
said
yeah,
you
Americans
have
do have an accent.
You said you have an impersonation.
Fascination.
Fascination. Okay.
Like majority of the people I have in my stream are actually American.
Yeah. Well, predominantly, I'd say it's many Americans use the platform, so that makes sense. Do you have any hidden talents or skills that we should be aware of?
I wouldn't call it a hidden talent, but I do love painting.
You love to paint.
Yes, painting is like my hobby. It's the
What
thing I
type
do.
of paintings do you do?
I like not abstract, but not natural, like acrylic paints, and a lot of blue.
You like to
Oh,
paint with blue.
Yes, I love blue paintings.
Do you happen to have any paintings around?
Well, yes, I actually do.
She does. Okay, if you're just tuning in, everyone, welcome to Suit It Up. My name's Chris. I'm poloed down today. This is your weekly interview style show, and right now we're joined by our foreign friend, Miss Danielle, at 4 a.m. in the morning. She's going to show us some of her paintings.
I have like one that majority of my friends love. That's the only one I have in this room. The rest are in my art room. But like something like this.
Whoa! That's really cool. What's going on in this painting? It looks like an astronaut that's sending out a beam. What's going on?
Yes, it is an astronaut on a different planet, kinda,
Yep.
with a flashlight, like showing home.
Oh, it's showing home. Are those mountains in the
It's like an ocean.
an ocean? Yeah. I love that.
Because like sometimes we are in a complete different place that's not home, but we'll always remember where we're from. So like,
It's wild to me that in how I prefaced that is I asked you if you had any talents, and you go, well, I wouldn't call it a talent. What is that? She's like, well, I'm not very good at this, everybody, but here's my thing. You're very talented. It's very good.
thank you.
Yes, definitely. Have you ever had a cheeseburger or a taco?
I should have expected that question, but yes, I have. We do have McDonald's here. We do have it.
Yeah. I feel like your McDonald's is better, though.
But we don't have Taco Bell or anything like that.
No, okay. If I were to come over to where you're from and get a meal, what would be the #1 suggestion, or what would be a culturally significant dish that you could offer?
Culturally significant. Oof. Like toast. Oof, we love toast. But no, Denmark is
Toast? What is toast? I don't know that. What is the toast you speak of? I fly all the way to Europe, and I'm like, all right, strap in, everybody. We're about to get a real cultural experience. And she's like, pull up. Here's this toast. Dry toast. Not even like any preserves or jam.
dry toast. Wow, calling it dry already. Ouch. But
Okay,
no, Denmark has a lot of cultures. Like, lots of cultures are mixed here. Even though, like, majority you will see, yes, clean Danish bloodline. But
Okay.
we have, like, Italian all over the place. We have literally any kind of food you want.
Mhm.
So, something really Danish is actually something we got from a different culture.
Okay. Well, hey, it makes sense to me. I mean, if you were to ask me what I would serve you, I'd say I hope you like cereal, because I cannot cook at all, and it would be a really bad experience for you. What else is going on in your personal life as far as that we can reveal? Are you a student? Are you currently exploring any options or working, anything like that?
Yes, I am a full-time student. I'm focusing. We have a different schooling system here, so it's not high school, but it's not university. But I'm focusing on math and physics, and I also do work on the side.
I like how you said it's not high school, but immediately when you said to me, well, I want you to understand I'm not in high school, I was like, if you have to clarify that, I feel like I might be in trouble right now. So you're out of high school, right?
Like, it's different here. Like, I am of age, I am 18, I'm 19 soon.
Okay.
But, like, we have a different kind of schooling system. We have, like, the basic schooling system where you go until you're 16, and then you can literally make up the choice for your life. Do you want to keep studying, or do you want to, for example, study to be a mechanic? So
They let
already-
16-year-olds figure that out?
At
That's
16, you're already ready.
So at 16 years old, you go, hey, rest of my life, what should we do? And that's how it goes?
Yeah, that means, like, either you can choose to do as me and keep studying so I can go to university, or you could, like, directly start working on a handicraft, like a craft. And
Now
I just-
that's interesting you mentioned that way, because generally in the United States, that is looked, and I would say wrongly, down upon of what they call like blue collar work, you know, mechanics, engineers, which honestly live very lucrative and intelligent lives. I mean, it's a trade school. It's do require a great amount of education and skill, but are unfairly looked down upon. Would you say in your culture that it is not looked down upon in the university versus going to a trade school is viewed equally?
I would say it's viewed equally. Actually, the trade school would probably be put a bit above it, actually.
Really?
That, because people are like, oh, you're just going to what we call gymnasium, which is what I'm at, just keep studying. Like, university, that's awesome, like, that's smart people. And then there's, like, craftsmanship. Like, we put a high deal of respect in that. Like, learning a craft and being good at it, that's amazing in our culture.
Wow. Yeah, that I would definitely peg that as a difference, is that it's revered to go through a trade school or to do a working craft, which again, you know, I said unfairly is looked down upon here. So yourself, you're studying in university, 18, you already made a big life decision 2 years ago at 16. Wow, that's weird to say, only 2 years ago. Okay, so 18, what's the trajectory? Where are you headed with this formal studies?
If I, like, succeed in doing as well as I should, I plan to, like, go study medicine. Hopefully become a surgeon. Hard choices, I know.
A surgeon?
Yes.
What type of surgeon would you be?
Cardiographic, so the heart.
A heart surgeon? Wow.
Yeah.
I can think of all of the great puns you can do with being a cardiologist. That's incredible. Wow. Huge aspirations, huge goals. Would you stay where you're at, or do you think you'd ever move?
I think I'd study here because, like, again, free school here. We don't pay to study other than for the books. So that's kind of nice.
Post-studies. Post-studies.
Yes, post-studies. I'd actually travel, like, where the job is the best. Because, like, in Denmark, that might sound grim, but the opportunities are kind of small, like minor, because there's literally more people in New York than my entire country.
Mm.
So
Wow.
I could consider going to America, also because, like, I'm working on my English, which is another reason why I strain to, like, get better at talking English without that much as an accent.
English is not your first language?
No, Danish
What?
is.
One more time?
Danish is my first language. English
Danish.
is my second.
Should we continue this conversation in Danish?
Even if I just speak a few sentences, you will be very confused.
No. I'm fluent in Danish. I just need you to go first.
Okay, hvad vil du gerne have, vi snakker om?
What? I thought I heard something about a bag on. I didn't catch that. Something about putting a snack in a bag on.
To translate, I just asked, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah, that was my second guess. So the traveling heart surgeon with huge goals. I love it. Is there anything else that, before we start to wrap up this conversation today, anything else that you'd like to talk about, go over?
Not really. I can't think of it. Other than I'm very grateful for being on here. Thank
Yeah, you sound so polite. I can't even. You're so polite when you say that. But I'm very grateful for being here. Man, take notes. Thank you so much for being here. Before you do go, will you please let everyone know, when are you live? When can they catch you? All that kind of good stuff.
Well, because of time zones, as you may know, it's like 4 a.m. for me now. And it's 10 for you, I think.
10, yep. 9 hours.
Morning time, daytime for American. Or 8 p.m. European time, if anyone's that fancy.
Sure.
But I try to go live every day. Unless, like, school gets in the way, I'll probably send out a blast saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be here tonight, but I'll see you all tomorrow.
Sure. Well, for speaking English as a second language, you are definitely proficient. And I'm impressed. Thank you so much. We all wish you the best on not only your streaming, but for your career goals. We wish you the best in your career goals. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Okay.
Cheers. All right, everyone. This is Danielle. This is Danny. Came in on the show. I've got no music for you today. It's poloed down today, everyone. It's poloed down. Huge shout out to It's Jilly Baby, More Miserables, and Miss Danielle, who just came on the stream. I hope that you favorited all the streamers. Huge thank you to the gifters today, the Baby L, to More Miserables, to Jordan, to Babyface Mosley. He must have heard that I called him Babyface Molasses. Jake, Brook Falls, Truth Squad, Danielle, Javi, And Alicia, thank you so much to you. That's the top 10. My name's Chris. Again, there will be no rundown this week. There'll be no rundown this week. Enjoy your time with your families. And if you're not seeing them, please enjoy some time with your virtual families here on the live streams. Big shout out and congratulations to Weird Science Wednesdays with Mike F. Bell. He had his premiere today. If you have not seen the banner, make sure you check the top to see all the great shows. You can see coming up in 45 minutes, Uncover Paranormal with not Brook Falls, with Blair Woods. With Blair Woods, you can watch Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. Brook Falls and Blair, I switch them up. The both young singing who are great and fantastic at it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming on the show today. And I will see you back in Michigan next week for Suited Up, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before I go, there's one last thing I need to say, and that's a big happy birthday shout out to my man, Eric. Eric in the comments celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday. And Eric is my ride or die. He is my boy. He's my guy. He's been with me since the beginning, before I had 100K. He kept me from quitting and has inspired me all throughout my streaming career. He is a person and a half. So if you can make sure to favorite Eric, he's the only person you will ever see in this stream that's red. Give him a favorite. It's his birthday. Well, it was his birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to you, man. And cheers to many, many more. All right, my name's Chris, everyone. If you'd ever like to keep up with me, my Instagram is spelled exactly how it is up here, Chris Casper. If you'd ever like to be on the show, go ahead and send me a message there. Tony, are you really doing that right now? Nah. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for this week. Don't fake me out like that. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I was like, you're gonna propose right now? I was like, if you want to live stream it right here, I mean, we can do that, I guess. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming by the show. My name's Chris. Make sure that you please favorite all of the gifters and people who have gifted. Happy birthday, Eric. Cheers. Have a good night, and I will see you later.